Hi everyone, greetings to you. Peace and love wherever you are. I greet you in peace and love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be another story time. It's going to be very short because I have already spoken about some of these things I'm going to discuss in this video. And some of these are some of the things that I've forgotten that I'm going to add today. Now, for the ones who've been following me for a long time, you would know I spoke about a man that I was seeing, a man that bewitched me, and I was stuck in a relationship with this man beyond my control through his witchcraft. And that man was from Ghana. I told you all that not only did he bewitch me, he had a wife that he also bewitched the wife, and he was trying to convince me and the wife so that we can have a polygamy relationship. He had planned, for us to have threesome and all sorts, which never happened because, I told you all in the previous video, I just wasn't feeling that energy, and I made my excuse. I made myself sick, and I got out of that stuff. But later on, I would find out that this guy, he was a warlock. He was a practicing wizard. And that threesome that he wanted me and the wife to partake in, that was a ritual. He wanted to, it was part of his rituals, but it didn't happen. Now, I told y'all in the previous, when I discussed about this guy, I told y'all that the wife he had, that wife, she was trying to get pregnant, and she was going back and forth to the fertility clinics and stuff to have fertility treatment. And because he was doing all these satanic rituals on the woman, she started developing abscess in her vagina area. And I told y'all that a nurse used to come to the house to clean these abscess and pack it with gauze or tissue kind of thing. Gauze, I think it's called in the medical term, is called gauze, I believe. But you people know what I mean, right? It's like white tissue. They pack the area where the pus is. They clean out the pus. It used to be big and pus. The girl couldn't walk at times, because it was in her private area. And a nurse used to come over to the house to help. All this time, this young lady, she was having fertility treatment. While she was having fertility treatment, beyond her knowledge and beyond my knowledge as well. But even though I didn't know, because I grew up around witchcraft people and stuff, and because I had so much trauma in my life, I did not trust this guy. So I was always on a high alert. But this young lady, now I'm telling you all about the wife, she was very naive. She was very submissive to her husband. He cut her off from all her family at one point. At one point, he cut her away from all her family, cut her away from all her friends. She was totally isolated. And he used to say she couldn't even eat out. She couldn't go out and buy a burger. She couldn't go out and buy chicken and chips and eat it. She needed to come home, sit at the table like a child, and wait for her husband to cook and feed her. He will sit there and eat her and watch her eat the food that he cooked, which was his African food. She was an English woman, a Welsh woman, a woman from England, born in England, Welsh. He was from Ghana, African. Woman can't eat out, nothing. She can't eat by she family, she can't eat out, and if she do, she need to wash him out and shut up. He must not know. She must only eat that steamed rice. He used to like to cook steamed rice. She must only eat that steamed rice, and he will sit on the table and watch her eat the food. Now, this is all about her, but because I mentioned about the food, he tried to do the same thing. Force me and my children. He would cook food and prepare the food, and we all sit by the table, and when you eat the food, you don't like the taste. So, obvious human nature, you don't want no more. You just don't like the taste. If something is too salty or not nice, you just don't want it. Your spirit don't want it. Your taste buds don't reject it. He would try to force the children to eat the food. One day, one of the child vomit by the table. My son, the son I have with him, vomit by the table. This guy, the reason he was forcing us to eat the food, this African Ghanaian guy, and me who is Trinidad, and the girl who was married to him, she was from Wales, English girl. The reason he was forcing us to eat the food, it wasn't because he was concerned about our diet or to make sure we had the right calcium and nutrition. No. He was bewitching us. He was putting stuff in the food. And that is why he was forcing us to consume that food so that the rituals his evil would, work. So anyway, this wife of his now, as I said, the young lady, she was having fertility treatment back and forth to the doctor, and he would be going back and forth to the doctor as well. All this time, this man is drugging this girl and putting stuff in the food for this girl to eat, because there is no way that this woman could have been asleep for the entire night and not knowing where your husband is roaming the house, and it's only a small 3-bedroom house. It was a small 3-bedroom house. It's not like a mansion. And this guy used to put stuff in my food as well, because I told y'all I used to be having a dream. And in this dream, some man having sex with me. And I would wake out of the dream. And when I come out of the dream, this man is there having sex with me. And his wife is sleeping, snoring in another room. You can hear it from the room. Bewitching. Now, some time ago, I was questioning God and asking God, because this wife of his own, she later lost her womb, her ovaries, everything a woman needs to conceive. The doctors removed it from this young lady. It was removed. They said it was cancer in the womb. But I told you all, he been working on her, doing his ritual a long time. That's the cancer. He even got a cat. That he named after the girl. After the girl left, he needed to continue the rituals. So he got a cat and he named the cat after her. And while she was thinking, oh, it is love, no, it was rituals. He needed to continue the rituals. So he named the cat Tiger Row. The first 3 letters of that girl name was R-O-W. I told you all in the previous message. Now, some time ago, I was questioning God and asking God, Father God, because I know quite a few people in this witchcraft story I'm telling y'all, these witchcraft stories. I knew quite a few people who fell. If they didn't die, some people end up mental on the street, eating out garbage. I see young boys just fall by the roadside, going crazy. I see many people get destroyed. But I remain standing strong. So I was asking God, why? Why me, Lord? What is difference? Why did that girl lose her womb, Lord, and stuff? I was questioning the Lord. And God reminded me of something that I did not mention in the previous video. So I'm going to mention it here. There was something that girl used to do. She used to book and go by psychics very often. Very often she used to go by the psychic. And they would do her reading and give her reading. That psychic was based somewhere in Kofili, South Wales. She used to go and have a psychic reading. So this is what I forgot completely about that But when I was questioning God and asking God, why? The Lord reminded me of that psychic she used to always go to. I'm not saying that is the reason, but I'm just saying God reminded me of that psychic. And I think it is very important that I say it in this stories. Because that psychic she was going to was the master of that psychic, was the same master of the man who was bewitching we, which is the devil. The same short willy man from Ghana, the Wizzard, who was bewitching me and bewitching her, which was her husband at the time she was married to him. I was not. he was trying to have this polygamy relationship. That was the man who was bewitching us. And the psychic she was going to for advice and for reading, that psychic was working with the same powers that wizard man was working with, which is the devil. So it was a trap. She had her faith and trust was in psychics back then. I believe now she is about God now. I believe she found God now. She found Christ now. I believe so. But back then we were young. We were in our 20s. We were in our 20s. We were like 20. We were quite similar in age, me and the girl. We are around the same age, if not the same age, a year apart. You know. So she's very close to 50. And we were around 20s, in our 20s. So yes, the guy bewitched the girl. He sacrificed her womb for petty stuff. Petty stuff. He used a cat to do some of his rituals and some of his evil. And he named the cat after her. He used to try, even though he had me bewitched, I was a very hard target. Because I was very rebellious. Because of my life that he lived in the past. Because he from Ghana, he don't know me from Trinidad, he didn't know my history, he underestimated me. His spirits and them didn't show him. So, because of my past trauma and stuff, he couldn't control me the way he controlled that woman. When he tell me what to eat and what not to eat and where to go, I used to say to him, I am not your wife. You can talk to your wife and tell her what to do, but you can't tell me what to do. So there was less manipulation and less control. So, I give him a lot more work to do. He would have to sacrifice a lot more, sheep and goats in order to have his full control. I was always rebellious because I never trusted him. I thought something was wrong. Something was wrong, I thought. The man was just weird. Sometimes he would be like, he would go into the feminine. He could be all feminine, wearing tongues and wearing clogs and stuff. He was just a bit of a weird one. So, but the witchcraft, it worked for such a time. It worked for a time. But even in that time, I still was not in love with this guy. His wife, who he bewitched and sacrificed that girl womb. That girl is almost 50 now. And one of the things that woman wanted most desperately was a baby. And now that they have removed all her womb and ovaries, everything that she needs to have this baby, that dream is out of the window. Unless she use, the medical system and do some miracles, unless they help her. Only God can do miracles, but you know what I mean, people, unless the medical system help her. Because hope have gone out the window for that young lady. But if she's given her life to Christ, there is nothing impossible for God. Nothing is impossible for God. And everything that the enemy has stolen, we can get it back. Everything that the enemy has stolen, as a child of God, when you realize that the enemy has stolen, they have tampered with your stars and your destiny, you can reclaim it. You can reclaim it. And I'm going to end this video here. What I want to say as well, people, what I realize in these journeys as you are going along, fighting, breaking generational curses and stuff. While you are praying and fasting, God is going to separate you from people. He's going to separate you from people. And while you are praying and fasting and stuff, you are going to get answers. You are going to see answers. What I've come to realize, sometimes when you are early in your journey and you don't understand, sometimes when your answers is coming, the devil is also coming. He sends somebody before the answers come to distract you. Be careful of that. He sends, before God sends the blessings for you, the devil always sends a distraction ahead. He will send you a distraction. Sometimes, so stay alert, my people. I would leave this here. I just wanted to add on. I didn't add on. I told you all how lovely the young lady was and everything. But the young lady, she also used to go to the psychic. And I forget to mention that in the previous video, you know. So I think that was also part of her downfall in making the enemy succeed and having his way, because her trust was in the psychic, not in God, you know. She didn't know God, she didn't have trust in God. She trusted in psychic, which that psychic was also working under the devil, the same devil. And the devil cannot destroy his own kingdom. So that's it. So people, until we meet again, peace and love to you all, and we shall hook up again very soon. God bless you all. Peace and love.